Welcome back to Autism at Home, brought to you by us at Early Autism Project Malaysia through our non-profit initiative, the Hope Project. I am Joshabet Isaacs, and this is our 25th series, which is on toilet training. Now, in our previous lesson, we focused on getting ready for toilet training, and this included assessing if your child is ready for toilet training, as well as all the materials you need to get ready. So do go back and review that lesson if you haven't already. Now, this is the second lesson, and before we can teach a child to be toilet trained, we need to teach our child to tolerate the toilet. This lesson makes me smile when I think of so many of our little kiddos whom we have taught this. From a little girl years ago that was terrified just to enter the bathroom, partly because of the wet floors. Then there was the loud flush, to the little boy who was terrified to sit on the toilet lest he fell into the toilet bowl. So let's start with seeing things from our kiddos' perspective. Firstly, are they able to enter the bathroom easily? Perhaps to wash their hands or their face or brush their teeth. Definitely for showers and baths as well. But then what about for the toilet? Or do they refuse completely? And therefore, we would want to try to figure out where the problem is. Is it the wet floors? Is it the loud flush or sound of hair dryers? Hair dryers usually won't be so applicable at home, although this can be a real problem in public toilets. Or is it the toilet and the toilet bowl itself? If it is any of the specific items above, we could try to prevent it by ensuring that the floors are dry at the beginning, or even having slippers for our kiddos who can't tolerate stepping on wet floors. So if we look at the extreme of a child who will not even enter the bathroom at all, we would want to try to build a tolerance to entering the bathroom. And we would usually want to start with building a positive association, and usually using desensitization methods. One way we would do this is by reading a social story about the toilet and visiting the different toilets in the home, just from outside, and our child does not even need to go in. Or if a child finds that hard, we could even have toilet visuals just to match, like a file folder or even pretend play toilets. So just practicing it during their table times. We discussed a few fun teaching materials in lesson 1, which includes books on toileting, maybe a baby doll with a potty, or even videos on going to the toilet. Then we start to really build a positive association with the bathroom, and we often do that through water play in the bathroom. This can range from a tub or a pail with water toys, water guns, water balloons, and the list goes on. We would usually recommend using a first then and of course foreshadowing, as some kids get too into it and then they find it difficult to leave the bathroom. Now, time for a pop quiz. Based on the recommended strategies to help a child build a positive association with the toilet, which of these do you think are important prerequisites for a child to have before starting toilet training? Cooperation and imitation, functional communication, tolerance to sounds, or none of the above? Hopefully, you've identified that A, B, and C are all the important prerequisites for toilet training. Now, if going to the bathroom is quite successful, we could start working on sitting on the toilet, or for boys, standing at the toilet. Now, parents, this is your choice, because for some of our students, because we need to teach them to sit for bowel movements or poos, we may teach sitting for peeing as well, even for the boys, just to simplify these steps. However, we can certainly teach standing up straight away as well. For the purpose of this lesson, we will focus on sitting for a start. It's best to start with a toilet social story as well as a toilet icon on your visual schedule. This way, when you get to that part of your schedule, you can read the social story to your child and then make your way over to the toilet. First, using a first then board, you can show first sit on toilet, then reward. And this reward could be the natural water play in the bathroom, or even something else like a quick iPad time and so on. Just remember to use the strongest reinforcer. Next up would be the steps to build tolerance to sitting on the toilet. We would start with sitting on the closed toilet seat with pants on, sitting on the toilet insert with pants still on, then sitting on the toilet insert without pants. Do remember to also gradually increase the time of duration your child is sitting on the toilet. Perhaps initially less than a minute, and then gradually increasing it in increments of 30 seconds or 1 minute. Now, another quick pop quiz. Which of the following 3 key ABA strategies is emphasized in the recommended desensitization strategy? Break skills down, reinforcement, or practice? The answer is A. Hooray if you have gotten that one correct. All of the 3 key ABA strategies would apply for building this tolerance. if your child faces a tolerance-related challenge apart from what we have been noted in this lesson, the first main thing to do would be to break the skill down. Then you have to reward your child for coping and tolerating with the demand and provide the practices needed. So now it's your turn. Firstly, identify if your child has any tolerance areas towards the toilet, be it going into the bathroom, the wet floors, the sound of the flush of the dryer, or the toilet itself. Secondly is to gather your necessary materials for this step, which is essentially a toilet insert and a stool, a toilet social story, a toilet visual for the schedule, a first then card, the strongest rewards identified, and additional or optional items include fun teaching materials to gradually expose your child to the toilet, be it potty training books, baby dolls with a potty, videos, and even fun matching file folders. And lastly, but certainly not least, start practicing. You can always choose to break it down even more if needed. Well, that's it for Lesson 2 on building tolerance to the toilet. We will see you in Lesson 3 on the toilet training routine. Thank you very much for your support, and with the amount of interest we have received online, we have actually started providing online services and currently work with clients in other states of Malaysia, New Zealand, Philippines, Singapore, Switzerland, Indonesia, China, and Brunei. Do get in touch with us for more information by scanning this QR code. And if you haven't already, do check out our online resource platform, Autism at Home, which has all the lesson videos, corresponding articles, and downloadables available for you for free. Stay updated through our social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Do click on the subscribe and follow buttons to get more information. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.